Hi, Kirk.
Yeah.
You know, I have to enter as I dance my life away. Let me see if I can do
Good.
this.
Because, every time we do this, I'm confused by how to start every single time.
It's like that. Listen,
They update this app so often. I'm just like, I don't know what y'all want us to
oh yeah,
do.
chat. I don't think I've been on live since
Since when?
literally since LA. So I don't even know what live looks like right now.
It looks like
It looks like life.
it looks like a panorama.
You said who?
It looks like a panorama.
I'm dead. How you feeling, Kirk?
I'm feeling good. It's Monday, so Mondays are the very talkative, get things done. Hi everyone, welcome in. I see people are joining already.
Yes, welcome you guys. Welcome.
Welcome everyone.
Let us know where y'all tuning in from. Where y'all tuning in from? Yes to the hearts. Where y'all tuning in from? Let us know. Comment down below. I don't know if you could can you put what the topic we're talking about? So when
yes,
people come in.
If only I knew how to type it and pin it. Hold on.
Yeah, I guess you have to type it, hold it down, and then pin it. Yes, we got Jersey in the building. We got Pittsburgh in the building. Let's get this poppin'. Let's get it pumping. Everybody say, let's pump it.
Okay, I put it.
Everybody say, let's pump it. Okay, you got it up there. There we go.
Thank you, Holly. I figured it out. Is it? Yeah, I spelled it. Yeah, whatever. You get it.
Yeah, I get what I'm talking about.
You get what I'm saying. How's your day going before we get started talking?
Productive. Today was productive. I'm finally feeling like a creative being again.
Right.
And yeah, I'm feeling like I'm getting back to Whitney. I was already Whitney. I'm getting back to the creative era because I already got to Whitney. Whitney is well rested, well organized, and well mentally here. It's now getting back to the creative era, which is the business part.
Yeah, because we're layered people and we have different parts.
Yes, child.
And each part of us needs something different. Ooh, write that down.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Write that down and DM that to me later, please.
Yes.
Hi, welcome in everyone. So house. Oh, I call Whitney house.
Where you want to start off at?
I'd be like, I call Whitney house. I don't call her Whitney, I call her house. So if you hear me saying house, I'm speaking to Whitney.
Yes.
And if you hear her say Kurt, she's talking to me.
Yes.
But my full name is Curtis. But yeah, as the pinned comment says, tonight we'll be talking about celibacy and abstinence. First of all, I cannot even believe that we're having this discussion. I never thought. Yeah, whatever. I just can't believe that we're having.
No, that's a real thing.
That we're having this discussion, but I'm excited, and I know that we always find a way to make. We always find a way to make things funny and like real. Like this is not serious. This is not made to be serious. This is really a real conversation about how we do it, and you will find out that we do it very differently. And it still works, and it's still valid, and it's still really, really dope. So with that being said, I would love for us to just start with whether you are celibate or abstinent, and how long.
Maybe we should define what both, because you practice celibacy, you practice abstinence, I practice celibacy, so maybe we could kind of give each other's definition.
Okay, so I actually did I've practiced celibacy before as well, and currently I'm practicing abstinence. But I will handle abstinence. And abstinence for me is just you've heard it in the past. Like I'm thinking about the TV show. If you guys watch, if any of you watched Girlfriends, and remember the character Joan, she had the 90-day rule, or like that used to be a thing, a 90-day rule. I don't have a 90-day rule, but what I do, what I intentionally do in my dating life and in my sexual exploration is I like to not explore sex in its fullness until there is some sort of commitment. Now, I am grown, and grown things do happen, but again, the fullness of intercourse, I don't have like a set date, but it is designated for a time when I'm in a certain point in whatever relationship I'm in. And that's what abstinence is for me. What celibacy for you, House?
Celibacy, I think abstinence and celibacy is different for different people. Different people practice it different ways. Some people do it for a short period of time. Some people do it until they get married. But for celibacy, for me, is predominantly where I literally don't have any sex. There's no sexual intercourse. There's like in the last I would say the last 3 years, I haven't even kissed anyone, and that's just because I haven't been dating. Like that's my own personal thing. I haven't been dating. Like literally the last 3 years has been just focusing on Whitney and healing and mentally basically detoxing from all of the relationships I've been in that weren't as healthy as they should have been. And so the last 3 years, I literally just been focusing on myself. And celibacy, I'm not having sex until I'm married. A lot of people go, "Oh my God, what do you mean you're not having sex until you're married? Like, how would you know if you get married, and stuff like that?"
Yeah.
But my answer for myself is that I have so much trust in God that God will, if I'm trusting God for a spouse, then that means that he's gonna build that spouse just perfectly
For you.
not
For
me, and so he wouldn't miss out on that point, that pointer, like, oh my God, like we're not gonna have this sex. Like, no, it's just that that's my personal feeling towards it. But a lot of people will give you side eyes when you say stuff like that. But yeah.
And I don't want to go deep into this point that I'm about to bring up, but I do want to mention that like there is also something, and we've lost it in this social media world that we live in, and just in this very sexualized social media world where we forget that, and that's why I intentionally use sexual exploration at the beginning, because sex is supposed to be fun and experimental, and it is a journey, and it is it should be explored personally and with a lot of care with you and your partner. So it's not really even about like what if they can't please you. It's like how the relationship is going to grow and get better because we're going to actually learn how to please each other.
Yeah.
You cannot please your current partner the way you pleased your ex. You understand? Oh, we got a question already. Oh, this is a great question too, because this is where we differ as well.
Yeah.
Are either of you practicing sexual pleasure? Would you like to go? Who would you like to go first, House?
I can go.
All right, you go.
I personally, out of my 32 years of life, I personally don't find pleasure in self-pleasure, sexual pleasure.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because I am a very affectionate person. And so when I did try to do that particular thing, it just felt like a missing, like I wanted a human there. It's like, I want human touch. Like, that's just that's just how I want it. Like, it's just like,
Yeah,
so I personally don't do it, but Kirker, do you want to talk about it?
of course. Um, first, I want to say that also I know Whitney, so I know that her love language, or one of her major love language, is physical touch. Physical touch is not, it doesn't sit high. It doesn't sit high for me, so I actually can please myself, and it does. I don't need to please myself and desire someone else. So
Yeah.
when I please myself, it is for me. But I will say that, to be completely transparent, it got to a point where it became obsessive, because the self-pleasure was, for a long time, when I began celibacy in 2017, for the 2 years that I was celibate, self-pleasure, it stopped me, right? It stopped me from hooking up. It stopped me from needing someone else, right? Because it's like, yo, if I can do it to myself, I don't need you.
Yeah.
But it did. Well, no, for real, no shade.
No, that's a real fact.
But it did become obsessive. And like anything that becomes obsessive, it's draining, it's daunting, and it's annoying. So in the last year, I've definitely had to break the cycle of that obsessive energy. But yeah, I do practice self-pleasure. But it now has a lot of intention around it, and I'm very specific about it. And I do think that for anyone who is watching, it's, again, like when you said, this is our opinions and our different approaches.
Our journey.
It's subjective, right? And I do think it is important to explore self-pleasure, because it does allow you to understand your body when you are in these intimate moments.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of people struggle with intimacy because they don't like themselves, right?
Yeah.
And
That's good.
And so self-pleasure, and it's not always masturbation, people. Self-pleasure is also the way we lotion our bodies, self-care, whatever,
Yeah.
It is the way that we commit to getting manicures and pedicures. And really, there's a thing called, I don't really do it, but it's called dry brushing, where you take a dry brush to your skin, and that helps with blood flow. Like, you need to know what it feels like when the blood in your body is moving.
Yeah.
Because when you are intimate, you're present when you're intimate. You're excited to be there, right? We hear a lot of stories, or I hear a lot of stories around my homegirls who have not experienced orgasms, right? And a lot of it comes from not not having self-pleasure, but it comes from not really understanding one's body and being comfortable, and also having a partner who you can explore your body with, who makes sex fun and doesn't make sex nasty. And you're not a porn star. No one's a porn star.
Not a porn star.
But shout out to everybody who's on OnlyFans, making their money, stacking the bag, getting to the creek. Do your thing. Do your thing. So, that was a long answer, but yes.
Yeah, what, since practicing, celibacy / abstinence, what has been what point was the most difficult?
The most difficult? Honestly, it has to be the abstinence part. Celibacy was a lot easier because when I started celibacy, I was intentional, right? Like, I had made the decision to start that.
Right, yeah.
And so when, with anything, when you go in with intention, God and the universe, they work with you, right? They be like, oh, you want to do that? All right, we're going to do that.
Right, yeah.
So when I decided to be celibate, I felt invisible.
Right, yeah.
And you can attest to this too. I hope that, when you could join in discussing this, but like, I felt invisible. I was not getting hit on. I also wasn't finding anyone attractive. Like, I knew people were cute. I'm always, you know, I'm a human, I'm an artist, so I look at people, I think they're beautiful, I look at features. So I'm looking at people and I'm like, okay, all right. But it was nothing. I wasn't feeling anything. And so celibacy was easy, but now that I'm practicing abstinence, it's difficult. And also I am someone who enjoys dating, right?
Got you.
So I love going on dates and those things, which encouraged the reason why I started celibacy. But I will get to that after Whitney answers, like, what was the hardest part of the celibacy for you, or it hasn't been hard? What what answer?
Now it's still hard, y'all. This thing is still hard, all right?
Yeah.
Even after 3 years, it is still hard. But the beginning stages, because I have tried becoming celibacy prior to me doing this long-term 3 years. I did try to become celibate for like 5 months. And them 5 months was the most difficult space of my life because my body was accustomed to having intercourse. That it was just accustomed to doing this. And so when I decided to step away from it, it became this, like, my body started to
it's a detox.
It's not like a detox. No, it's like not like a detox. It's like, what's the thing when you I call it a detox, but it was like basically saying, girl, where is,
like not a relapse, but like you were missing it.
No, right, yeah. And so I was just like, okay, Whitney, you have to like pull yourself together. And then I would have these like weird dreams. Like I would have these like really weird dreams where I was like having sexual intercourse with like Drake and like Rick Ross and like these random people who I was just like, oh, withdrawals. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Right. It was withdrawals. My body was withdrawn from sexual intercourse. And it would literally be like, girl, we need something. Because, honey, I know that you saying you want to do this, but this ain't working. And so I decided I was just like, all right, this ain't going to work. Blah, blah, blah. Called up such and such. All right. And then later on down the line.
Sorry, that is a New York.
This is raw.
That is a New York ass story. You ain't saying nothing. But everyone knew what you said. You said, I hit up that Atikika, aka Papa.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. I called such and such picked up, and whatever happened after that happened.
That's such a New York story.
That's what happened. And so right after that, I was like, okay, Whitney, maybe you could try again a later timing. So then when I went through like two really bad, it wasn't even really bad relationships, but I went through two relationships in 1 year, and that's not common for me. Like in my mind, I was like, I want to get married, I want to, have kids and all that other stuff. And so that's when like I started to realize that I was dating the same people. I was dating different people with the same face. And I said, okay, Whitney, you need to step back and think about yourself at this moment. And that's when my celibacy journey started in 2017. And I was just like, okay, Whitney, like, you already know what to expect. You already know that you're about to have these weird dreams because you experienced it before. You know you're about to have withdrawals. Like, child, you know these things. And then within maybe like the first 5 months or 6 months, probably, I was still drinking. And when you drink, child, you ain't got when I drink, I'm the drunk girl. I get drunk, y'all. I get real drunk, and then old girl just start looking real crazy. And so it was like, all right. And then that's when I was like, all right, I need to stop drinking. So that was even harder for me because I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
I stopped doing anything that's associated with drinking, which was socializing with friends and going. I'm real strict, y'all. I was like real strict on myself. Looking back, I'm like, girl, you definitely could have did this a different way, but it is what it is. But yeah, child, it was real. But now you know, 3 years in, it's the most difficult part has been like, okay, because it's really, my journey has been having faith with God and saying, God, when is the time going to happen? When you going to have me, you know, being in position for my spouse? And that's a really difficult space because you really have to operate out of faith. You can't operate on what your friends are telling you. You can't operate what your favorite pastor's telling you. You can't operate off of whatever. You really have to have your relationship built off of what God told you.
Yeah.
And that's hard because sometimes God don't give you a date. He don't give you, okay, on this date you're gonna do this, and this date. And so right now it's just like I don't have that date, and so I'm just focusing on the things that I do have control over, which is my talents, my gifts, my self-healing, and you know, all of the above, child. But yeah, child, that's the story.
Yeah, no, you said a lot. You said a lot there that was important about how when you start a journey like this, there are you realize how many things are connected to the decisions you make, right?
Yeah.
So like something like drinking, and I don't even think we, and we've been friends, I don't even think we talked about starting our celibacy journeys in the same year.
Yeah.
That wasn't even something that we talked about. It was very personal to each of us. And I don't even remember I don't even remember us then talking like, hey, me too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm celibate. I don't remember that happening. But anyway, for me, I started my celibacy journey also in 2017. I had came out of a, I guess, relationship situation. I don't know. It was going on for a while, but and it wasn't bad. It was just not the one for me. And so that ended in 2016. And I remember came out of that and was watching this interview of Pastor Gavon and his wife, Megan Good. And in the entire interview, they were holding hands. And I'm a hopeful romantic. I do not call myself a hopeless romantic. I am a hopeful romantic. And I just love things like that. And I was just like, oh my God, they're holding hands the entire interview. Like, I'm like, couples be holding hands? People do that? And so I didn't believe it. Hey, Trey. So people were holding hands. So I'm like, oh my God, I gotta figure out like how they do this. How do people get to hold it? Look, and this is how you know we gotta break these cycles of these bad relationships. The fact that I had to be like, yo, I need to get to a place where I can hold a hand. Like, yo, we all deserve to be holding hands, period.
If you desire to hold hands, not everybody likes to hold hands.
Yeah. So I watch all these interviews. I'm like, okay, this love is real. And then it gets to a point where they go, but we were celibate. And I said, damn, okay. And I was like, all right, okay. This is what they did. And then this is how they met. All right, let me try this out. And it was a great decision because that same year, I ended up moving to Atlanta, which was great. And that was so God because, and I've told you this before, House, but like, it was easy to be celibate somewhere else because, you know, I didn't want
no one knew.
You know, I was new in town. I didn't want no record, you know? So it was easy to not be out here wilding. So it made it very easy for those 2 years that I lived in Atlanta. But, you know, when I moved back to New York I'm from New York, born and raised in the Bronx. And so it's very familiar. My exes live here. And I also want to say this is a good time to say this. Just because people practice celibacy or abstinence doesn't mean they don't have options.
Right.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
We're not ugly.
Right. Yeah.
And ugly is a character trait, right? I'm not even talking about looks because we're all ugly.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Because we are setting these boundaries within our intimate life does not mean that there are not people who want to be next to us.
Yeah.
Or there are not people that I want to be. If they hit me up right now, I'll be like, yes. You know, like
Yeah.
we all have that.
Yes,
We
child.
all have that. But this is just the decision we made. But yes, when I returned, when I moved back to New York, my journey of abstinence began. And so here I'm in a place now, like I said before, where it's not really, I'm not allowing myself to experience any sort of intimacy, but, you know, obviously wanting to do it with people that I'm attracted to, not only physically, but also spiritually, emotionally, mentally, even if it doesn't go long haul. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
We do have a question, Whitney. Hold on.
Okay.
The question is, how do you communicate with your partners while dating about your sexual philosophy lifestyle?
That's all Kirk, because I haven't dated in the last 3 years, so that's all Kirk.
Okay. All right. So, Kirk is also not great at dating, but nah, I'm kidding. I think you just know when, and you know this is this airy answer, but it's the truth. You will know when the time is right.
Yeah.
There always comes a point in every bond, dating, relationship, whatever. There always comes a point where you're with the person, y'all looking at each other, and you go, Either you're feeling something to go forward, or you're feeling something to go back. And when you feel something to go forward, that is the perfect time to be like, you know, I'm really feeling you, and I want to share that I'm feeling you, but I also want to share, like, you know, the boundaries and the things that I have set for my body, for my life, and where I want to be. And you know, can you respect that? Can you not? And you have to be ready for someone not to agree.
Yeah.
You have to be ready.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be mad at someone for not wanting to be with you if you're not being intimate. We are human, right? And there are people who, you know, who really put intimacy and sex at a high ranking. And so that just may not be your partner. And again, just because you don't have a high sex drive does not make you a non-sexual person.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like,
I agree.
We are all sexual beings, and yet, you know, the sexuality and how we identify in that realm, you know, differs among each of us. So yeah. So I would just say wait. You'll know when the moment is right.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you learned so far during this journey?
Dang, I learned so much. And a lot of what I've learned has been about me. It hasn't even been about other people. I've learned that I'm an amazing lover. I've learned that I am consistent. I've learned that no one can love me if I don't love myself. I've learned. I've also learned about other people. I've also learned that some people don't want to be with me, but they want to be with me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. I mean, that's a period. There's really no other way to say it, but yeah, like, there are people that want to be with us, but not be with us.
Yeah.
And so I've, you know, in my journeys, I've learned that, there are people who just want to know what it's like.
Yeah.
What is it like to be in a room with Curtis alone? What is it like
to
be? People wonder about that with all of us, each of us, everyone watching, with you, Whitney. Like, somebody wants to know. I love them on the internet. I love when they're speaking.
Yeah.
But I wonder what it's like when, like, we're just chilling and it's just us.
Right, yeah.
And what if the right song is playing, you know, all those good things.
Right, yeah.
What have you
Yeah.
learned? What have you learned in your
Child, I've learned so much. I see when I entered into most of my 20s, um, I spent basically dating around. My 20s was about just like dating around, figuring out what I wanted, you know, who I want to be with, what kind of people I want to be with. And so the last part of my 20s, which would enter into my celibacy, which is my sorry y'all. Which is my I'm so sorry. Kirk, can you just talk for a second?
Okay, no problem. Yeah. As Whitney handles her technical difficulties, I want to thank you all again for tuning in. If you have any questions, please continue to ask them. I would love to answer all of them.
Okay. All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I was saying was that I've definitely learned a lot about what person I wanted to be with, what kind of person I am. And then towards my ending of my 20s, recognizing like Whitney, like you need to like put on your grandma drawers and just chill with Whitney and figure out what she wants. You know, yes, I could be I remember one time I asked God, I remember the beginning stage when I first became celibate. I asked God, I said, God, listen, I'm ready for my spouse. I'm ready to get married. I'm about to get this thing on and popping. And old boy says, are you a wife? I said, oh, you right, bro. You right. I didn't even know. I couldn't even define what a wife was at that time. I couldn't even define what a girlfriend was at the time of what can I contribute to a spouse. Like I didn't know what I could contribute to a spouse. Like and I realized towards my dating spaces, like when I would date, it was like my focus was, yeah, I have a business. Yeah, I'm a CEO. Yeah, I got this, I got that. And, you know, as time went on, I said, damn, Whitney, do you even know what your favorite color is? Do you even know what kind of food you like? Have you even spent time, you know, really thinking about what Whitney really, really likes? And it really honestly wasn't until I moved to LA, because for like 17 years, I was a caretaker. And so that part of my life, I couldn't identify anything in relation to Whitney, because my first priority is making sure my grandma's okay. And when my grandmother transitioned, I moved to LA, and that's when I really, really got the feeling of, oh, this is what Whitney likes. She likes to she doesn't like the beach like that, but she do like hiking. She does like hiking, but then she also likes, she also just likes being in nature. She likes taking long walks. She but those questions people would ask on, you know, dates, like, what do you like to do? And I could not, my answer was, oh yeah, I like to create. I have a CEO. I'm a business owner. And it's like, all right, girl, but what, do you have a favorite book? Do you have a favorite movie you like? Like, I need answers, honey. Right. Like, who are you? I know you like to create, but who are you? And so and so that's where I spent the last 3 years understanding when I do get placed in a space where I'm going to be dating again and, you know, potentially meeting my spouse. Yeah. I have answers for those questions. It's not, oh yeah, it's just this, you know. I'm sorry, you guys. I have to answer one more text message, but continue talking. Sorry.
As you can see, she is still a CEO. She is still booked, and she is still busy. Maps Glover said, I've learned a lot about my boundaries, what kind of touch feels good, what doesn't. Yes. It's important to know your body, love the curves, love the scars of it, love the shape of it. Notice how your skin feels when you go in the shower versus when you come out of the shower. What lotions make you feel best? What oils do you enjoy? Knowing the points in your body, the pressure points in your body. Those things are very, very
You guys,
important.
the thing is that I am this is my first time ordering groceries off of Target, and child, they texted me asking me if I need what products I need in replacing of another product. So I'm like, I don't want to mess up my order. But anyway, but yes, child. Continue talking what you're saying.
No, I was just talking again about loving one's body and how important that is to love your body before you even I'm not just talking about sex, until you share it with someone else. It's important to like, for a long time I didn't even like taking my shirt off. I grew up a very chubby kid, so I had to really fall in love with my body. And that can be tough. Again, we live in this very social media world where you see body types all day. Most of them do not look like yours, and so there's a lot of comparison. And you think that that person is thriving in an area because of the way they look, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. And so it's a waste of time to compare and really love your body.
Yeah, and I also like what you shared about taking off your shirt. During the summertime, your girl was definitely not outdoor. Like that was a self-esteem issue that I used to have for being dark skinned. Growing up and being dark skinned and being teased about being, darker than tar. Like they used to call me the tar girl, or the main thing was fat, black, and ugly. That was the theme. And as I got into my 20s, I had to ask myself, like, Whitney, why don't you want to be, hey sis, hey Sean, why don't you want to be out in the sun? And I realized, like, I was like, nah, Whitney, you have to like embrace the sun. Child, you dark skin, that's it. You can't change your complexion because
beautiful.
Yeah, because somebody told you you black and ugly.
Yeah.
Like, nah. So I had to heal from that.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, I was just gonna jump in and say, like, and those things are important to work through, because what happens is you'll be on a date and it's going well, and someone will say, Whitney, your skin is so beautiful. You are a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And because you have not worked through those feelings, you won't believe them. You'll ruin the date, and you miss out on a good person.
Yeah. Yep. That is, and that has happened to me many times. Like,
you miss out on a good person because of kindergarten.
Right, because I didn't hear those spaces. I would literally be like, they'd be like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so this." In the back of my head, I'm like, all right, oh boy, you really trying to get in my drawers. But they really just wanted to say that you're beautiful. And I'm like, right. It's just like, in my mind, I'm like, nah, like, you just you really trying to say some things, no. But I realized that was my issue, not their issue. Because that was only subconsciously in my mind telling myself that in my head. Oh, Whitney, this is that, and it's like, girl, no, like, no, you're gonna be no. But yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing to really heal areas from your childhood issues, past relationships, parent issues, generational issues, like those things. That's what I've been practicing, working through with my celibacy. Is just practicing over and over. Whitney, who is Whitney? And even now, I'm still redefining myself. I'm now in a different space of my life. I was in a car accident, and so I'm now having to redefine myself from, unable to walk, and at some point being able to walk, embracing the scars that's on my body, embracing the scars that's on my head. So yeah, it's all, you're constantly ever evolving. And with celibacy, it breaks you apart from the distractions, because being around, for me, it was like being around other people was distraction from who I wanted to be. It was like, oh, I was all like, before my celibacy, I always had, whether I was dating or in a relationship, I always had an overlap. Not talking to this person. Okay, spend like maybe a few weeks by myself or a month by myself. Okay, I'm good. All right, now I'm gonna go to the next person, and it was just overlapping, and before I knew it, I'm like, I just feel damaged, like a damaged bag of chips, child. Just crumbs, just crumbs, just crumbs crumbling down, honey. No, yeah. It's a real thing.
That is a real thing for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, let that breathe. Mm-hmm.
If you guys have any questions, ask more questions. I know you guys were asking questions. Chiffon, I know that you always got a question. So if you have a question, child,
we're open to answering.
Yeah. And it's funny because also this is the first time I'm publicly. Last week was the first time I publicly announced that I was practicing celibacy. Kirker was the first person I texted to let him know that I was gonna do a video. He's like, "Wait, you never spoke about this before publicly?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, only my like close friends and like family knew that, you know, I was practicing celibacy. And the reason I waited so long was because people are very opinionated on what you should do in your life.
For sure.
And I got to a level where I was like, I don't need no one to let me know what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And so I prefer this route opposed to someone else's route. And your journey is your journey. I always say that. Your journey is your journey. Because people will tell you, oh, celibacy, like you, that it's like a foreign, to some people, practicing celibacy, practicing abstinence is a foreign language, child.
And especially when you Black.
Child, you been hanging out with them other folks.
What you mean you not, look, when you Black, what you mean you not, so you not thinking about kids? You not working on children? So you not dating? You don't date nobody? You don't?
Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you. They be like, so you're not dating nobody?
Right.
So what about kids? What about grandkids? What about, you don't want kids? Because the only way you can have children is by having sex. So they're like,
right.
You know, they're like, forget adoption.
Right.
They're like,
yeah.
So you're not going to sleep with any. They're like, so you're not going to sleep with anyone?
Anyone? Especially when I said.
You're not going to choose someone to just sleep with?
Ah!
And I want to be clear that this is not jokes around living your best life and being safe while you explore yourself. We're talking about the judgment that comes with, yeah.
Oh, wait for it. Chiffon, this is my sister. My sister been saying, when you gonna have a niece? When you gonna have kids? When you gonna have kids? Child.
Girl.
Listen, the time will happen when the time happens.
Girl, I can't. Shout out to kids though. Shout out
and
to
then also the thing too is that when I tell people that I'm waiting until marriage, it's like,
yeah,
what? Yeah. Girl, are you dumb? Can't you just get pregnant?
No, people say stuff like that.
Can't you just have the baby and y'all figure it out and along the way?
Yeah. I don't even
do it all the time.
My dad doesn't even know that I don't have sex, but he literally one time was like, you know, have grandchildren, you know, for me. And then I was like, who's gonna take care of them? And he was like, I would. And I was like, you are like close to 70. What are you talking about?
Right.
I'm younger than you, and I don't
right, yeah.
So what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
That makes absolutely no sense. But that's why you have to do. That's why you have to do the work, so that you can recognize that when you are in conversation with people, including family, including parents, you can go, I want to give you a niece and nephew. I want to give you grandchildren. Maybe I want to be a parent too. But
Hey,
yo,
sis.
I am not. I cannot rush that, and if I am not ready, it will not be fair to me, and it damn sure will not be fair to the child.
Yeah.
And
if
we
I
have
can eliminate,
we have to stop. You are not a man or woman because you had children. You're not fully a woman because you gave birth, and you're not fully a man because your sperm works. Good job.
Right.
You're welcome. You know, like, God gave you the sperm.
True.
Good job. Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not a man because that happened, and you're not your womanhood, and I want to tread lightly because I'm a man saying this, but your womanhood is not defined by being a mother. I'll stop there.
Right.
I don't want to speak for women.
Yeah, because there's some women who can't conceive. There's some women who can't have children.
Yeah.
You know, and does that make them a less of a woman? No.
Not at all.
It doesn't.
And what about the women who cannot conceive a child naturally, right? And who are also practicing celibacy. Because someone might say, girl, what's the point? You know, like, what are you holding out for if that is not even an option for you? But it's like, she's still a person. She still wants certain things, and she desires. Like, dating is so interesting now. Like, people be wanting so much from you, and don't even you can't even ask somebody.
They don't even have the answer.
You ask somebody the last time they talked to their mom, they can't even answer you. But they want to sleep with you.
The parent.
They want to sleep with you, but you ask them when the last time they talked to their mom. Because if you didn't talk to your mom, if you're not speaking to your mom, unless she is a terrible woman,
right? Yeah.
There is no way you're gonna know how to communicate with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
People always worry too much about the next person. Period. They want more than they can bring to the table. Yes, they do.
Period.
Yes, they do. And we have to be able to recognize when people want more than what they're bringing, and we also need to know what we're bringing too. Because if you don't know what you're bringing to the table, you will fall for anything.
Yeah, like the other Kirk and I, we were having a conversation, and I was like, "Yeah, I used to always get left on scene." And he was like, "You always got left on scene?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, because I tolerated it, and I did not know my self-worth, and that's a real thing." Like, is the two of you practice? Yeah. Well, I
Whitney, Whitney is. I'm waiting for just a commitment or an understanding. Right. Understanding, commitment, understanding.
Our relationship.
Like
yeah.
Oh
I'm waiting into marriage.
Yeah, which is great.
But it took me a while to even say that.
I love that we're so different in that. I love that.
Yeah.
And it's
people ask that.
They're both valid. They're both real. They're both and they're not like the only difference is the timeline. Like the only difference.
Like for me, I thought I was only going to be celibate for like a year. I'm lying. I was thinking like 6 months to a year, child.
Yeah.
And them years started calculating. Lord,
it's 365 now, girl.
Right? Did you leave me on scene, honey? But
look, not being left on scene by God too.
I'm only getting left on scene.
The guys leave me on scene. God is leaving me on scene. This is too much.
It's too much.
This too much.
It's too much.
I'm gonna just go have sex because this is too much.
Okay.
This is too much.
Oh, Susie, we had explained it, but we could do it briefly. We had explained it earlier in the.
I didn't go. I never explained mine.
Oh, you never explained?
No.
Oh, I did. All right, you go ahead.
So I began celibacy because in 2017, I was at the time I was on dating apps, and so I connected with this guy. I was in Brooklyn. He lived in Brooklyn. I wanted to link up. I wanted to go get something to eat. And we could do it. You know, we could do whatever you want to do, but can we go eat?
Eat, yeah.
And I just remember getting to his place, and he's an awesome guy, talented as ever. He's a fashion designer. His spot was dope, like beautiful, aesthetic, lit. But he really only wanted sex. And I don't know why that was so. I guess it was just where I was mentally. I didn't even know where I was.
Yeah.
But long story short, we have sex. And I leave. When I'm leaving his house, I just remember being like, yo, he only wanted to have sex. That's not okay with me.
Yeah.
Like,
not okay.
I mean, granted, it was good, but that's not the point.
Right.
Like, that's not the point. Like, I want to, like I said at the beginning, like, I enjoy dating. I love going bowling. I love doing activities. I love, you know, anyone who knows me knows I love planning. I'm very organized.
Yes.
So I love creating, when I'm dating, I love creating outings and coming up with ideas and things we could do. So, like, to be in a hookup, like in a hookup culture or have a hookup moment where I didn't even notice that my mind has shifted was really, it fucked me up. And I was like, oh no, I have to do something different.
Yeah.
And like, I hope that, I mean, I don't, you know, whatever. But for me, I was like, yo, I gotta do something different. This is not.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go out.
Yeah.
Like, I really do want to go out. Like, why?
Yeah.
We gonna have sex, y'all. Like, relax.
Right, yeah, but I want to go out.
We're gonna get to that. But can we go? Can we go? But yeah. But
yeah. I can say mine briefly. I 2016, the end of 2016, 2017, I was in 2 relationships. And not 2 relationships at the same time, y'all.
I was about to say.
Don't go around miscommunicated. I was in one relationship for 6 months, and then literally I took a break.
The audience said, "I see you were celibate now."
I see you, Creative Era.
They said, "Girl, no wonder you went celibate. You dated 2 people at the same time. Girl, you tired." No.
Oh, God.
So yeah,
I was in a relationship between. I was in one relationship between 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
And then around I want to say February, we broke up, and then I took like 3 months. No, it was actually like a month, actually. February, March, April. No, March, April. Yeah, it was like 2 months. And I was like, no, I'm going to heal from that relationship, dump that person. Actually, the person dumped me. I think that was the first time I got dumped ever in life. But
I'm not lying.
So I was angry over that. I was tired over that because I was just like, oh boy, how you going to dump me? Anyway, that's here, now, there. He dumped me, and then I go, and then I was like, I didn't heal from that relationship. And I went right into another relationship for 4 months. And that 4 months was just terrible. Like, it was just terrible. It was not, and it's not terrible on that person. It's just like I accepted and tolerated so much from this person. And this person was not willing to give me what I wanted in that time. And then that's when I decided, like, girl, you went from old boy over here to old boy over here, and you still didn't figure out what you wanted, child. And it's like, nah, I need to take a moment and get together.
Yeah, and celibacy helps you to celibacy and abstinence helps you to really see people for who they are.
Ooh,
like we forget, like, yo, when you're not thinking about sex, again, it doesn't mean that you don't find them attractive or it's not that you're not thinking about what they would look like naked. But when your plan is not to have sex with them in that moment, you're looking, And yo, I've been on dates where you hear people be like, oh, like just stuff. I'm sorry. It's just, like you just hear things. You hear things that that that's not the person you need to be with, or that you would date, or that you desire, right? Like there are things that are important to you that you can forget about when you're only thinking about sex.
Yeah.
Right? Like, again, I'm a very loving, like mushy gushy person. So as soon as I get signs, or as soon as your conversation becomes, well, I don't like this, I don't like that, I like to move like this, da 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 da, you're turning me off because I'm a romantic. So
yeah,
it's over. All right,
no, I agree.
Yeah, I am chiefly, yes, red, black, girl, they be red,
no,
blue, and
that's
yellow.
What I was say. Thank you for reminding me, sis. That was that I was about to say, because now
red,
them
blue,
red
and
flags
yellow.
let me tell you, them red flags will show up like nobody business. They say one thing, you be like, nah, bro, no, you not. No, you not. No. You not over here. You not. No. Not over here.
But also, and again, really listen and respect. Like, there was one person that I had a crush on, and was trying to pursue, and they shared that they were attracted to me as well. The vibes was there, but they said at this moment, I really don't believe in monogamy, and I don't want to bring you into this. And I said, thank you. Like, thank you.
Say less.
Say less. Like,
say
really
less.
Believe people. Really believe them. They're telling, like, really, people really be telling you stuff. But when
what she said, you got, like what you said, listen to them. You listen.
When you're out there, listen.
Listen.
They are they are talking. People are telling you what
they're telling you. But
Tracy,
the thing with me was that I would listen and see the red flags.
Yeah.
But because I didn't know my self-worth, I would continue to pursue this person, knowing, girl, this person just said what they said.
Right.
Ain't nothing gonna change, sis.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's like, oh, I can make them change. I can make them feel this way. That's what I was about
to say. They ain't never had love like this. So when they with me, they gonna
change.
They gonna love it. They gonna love going out with me. No,
months later,
they don't like it.
Years later, you're like, baby girl.
They be like, years later, how many dates did you go on?
None.
I don't know, but I know his house though.
I'm weak.
I know his house though. But
that is the honest truth. But the one thing I can say is that it's helped me to build my relationship with God even stronger, because
hold on, my brother is about to interrupt us. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. We got a good game coming on.
Oh, okay. Don't say nothing crazy. I'm on live.
No.
Okay.
That's a good game.
No, I heard you.
It's the Nets and the Knicks.
Okay.
Manhattan and Brooklyn.
Everyone, that's my brother. Yeah, let's move on. Look, let's move on.
Right.
Nah, Tracy asked, official, how hard was it when you first started versus now? It was, yeah, I don't know. Whitney, what do you think?
Well, when I first started, I said this earlier, it was difficult because my body was going through withdrawals.
Got you. You did say that.
That's a real thing, y'all. My body was going through sexual withdrawals, and it was like, girl, where is the human? Ain't no other human, child. Where's the human?
It's just you.
And and now I still struggle. It's still a struggle for me, but in different areas, because I am one of my love languages is affection. And so without having that affection, it still has it's still been a very difficult space, because it's like, it's still, my body's still like, where's the human, sis? Like, we're human, we're supposed to be with the other human. Where's the other human? And I realized that, you know, it's more just like, because I don't have that, I have to focus on other things that I do have control over, which is my creativity, my business, self-healing, self-love, all of the above. Like,
You can always tell when somebody's struggling when the pitch in their voice change. You be like, I'm not having sex, but I am focused on my money, my health, because the pitch tells it all.
It's still hard, y'all. After 3 years, it's still hard.
I feel like it's easier now. I feel like I'm in a very mature place where I recognize what I need, what I desire, what I want. And also, if I fall short, I give myself grace too.
Yeah,
that helps a lot too. I think so many people are, you know, we all carry guilt and shame in different ways, and I think specifically in like when you're practicing celibacy and abstinence, it's kind of just like, oh, I kissed that person, God is mad, or I messed up, or I fell back. It's like, that's not how this works.
No.
You're human, you made a mistake. You kiss somebody, now you know next time. You know, and it sounds corny, but there are some people, if you know that you really attracted to them, and it feels like the energy is only sex, y'all need to be outside.
Y'all need to be outside. That's a word. That's a word. Don't
stop going in the house. Stop going in the house. Stop going in the house.
That's a word. That's a word for somebody watching this. That's a word.
Stop going in the house, because the house, it's a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap, y'all. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
No Netflix. I know we in a whole panoramic, but listen, do a live and have dinner together, because I promise you, you ain't gonna make it out.
You know, in my last relationship, we did that. It is really.
Oh, did you?
Too. Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, we both.
I would definitely love to do that.
Yes.
You said what?
We both got on. Again, this shows my dating style.
Right.
So
yeah.
I wanted to play 21 questions, and so we both had to come up with questions. And then we got on FaceTime and asked them to each other.
I love that. I'm still in that. Whenever I get a date, I'm gonna steal that one. I like that.
No,
that.
It's really cute. It's really fun. And you have to be inventive. You have to.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think for me, some of my fears now that I've been celibate for 3 years and haven't, you know, been physically near another human in that way. I think one of my fears now is that my body might freeze up and be like, girl, what is this?
Yeah.
Why is this human near?
Yeah.
It
might say abort mission.
Why is this human near me?
Yeah.
And so that's some of my fears, is like, you know, I don't want, also the thing is too, you know, all right, maybe not. But I was going to say that.
This is good. We're talking about fears, because I have a fear too. Go.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm probably going to be socially awkward, but I don't think the socially awkward would come unless the person is socially awkward. Like, if the person I'm dating is not socially awkward, I'm not going to be socially awkward. I think we'll lose it. Oh, yeah, I think, those are some of my fears. What's your fears?
For sure. First, I want to say, I love that you said, like, I was saying, I'm back. I'm good.
Yeah, you good. Yeah.
Okay. I was saying that, to your point about your body, like, going into shock or whatever, I was saying, luckily, you know, you're not a man, because, you know, this might be too much information. Graphic. But, you know, when we get excited,
right? Yeah.
We don't get stuck. We actually go all the way.
I'm weak.
So,
bloop, bloop.
you know, as a man, we can't really hide how excited we are to be somewhere.
Right,
So,
yeah.
luckily,
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Luckily, you don't have to worry about that.
No, I don't have to worry about that.
But one thing that I used to say, and I'm not going to say it anymore. This will be the last time that I say it. But one of my fears before was that I was afraid that I would be bad. Like I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know how to please.
Right, yeah.
Like maybe I would get, like you said, nervous that I don't even perform because it has been so long that since I've been intentional
in that
with stuff
space,
like this that I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what am I doing here? You know, so that was.
How does this thing work again?
How does this thing work? Mind you, the thing is working, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Nah, I can't.
No, it's a real thing. Also, you guys, would you guys ever consider doing celibacy? Comment down below if you guys either celibacy or abstinence, or have you done it before? Did it work? Did it not work?
What are the
I think,
what are the wins and the fails, the
or
trials,
are you considering it?
Yeah, we would love, and of course, any questions.
But the thing too is that a huge part of my journey has been about God. That's because honestly, you guys, I don't think without God giving me the strength to be here in this space of being able to be like, girl, you celibate for 3 years, going on 4. I don't think I would have been able to do it without like this. Even there were times like I really would have to pray, like, Lord, like, you have to give me the strength right now because this ain't working out, honey. I'm one phone call away, honey. I'm one phone call away. I'm one phone call away. And you know, and that was another thing too. I had to eliminate, you know, you being transparent. It was that one person that you call up, like, yo, what's goody, bro? Like, what's poppin'? And I had to disconnect myself from that person because that person was the go-to. And knowing like, okay, if I get drunk, and that's another reason why I had to stop drinking for that period of time, was because, okay, I'm drunk, I'm drunk texting, yo, what's popping? I'm swinging by, da, da, da. And I realized, like, you know, I had to eliminate all of that. I had to eliminate, you know, all of it. It was a whole flat out just detox. Like, we're detoxing it all the way. So I'm too old to be sleeping. That's child. Yeah, it's true. It is very true. Like, that's what I said. Like, the ending part of like 28, no, what was it? 29, 20, 29, 30, 31, 32. The ending of 25, I knew I wanted to get married. And I was like, okay, Whitney, well, you need to start slowly making your way into a wife before you get married, child. What does that look like? We don't know yet. But, you know, I had to slowly progress to getting to that space. But it wasn't like, especially now at 32, oh no, child. Honey. Who? What? Nah, I'm not tolerating half of the stuff I did during the 20th, like my 20s. The 20s was cute, it was fun, it was like, yes, it's going down, baby. But now I'm like, child, who? Go where? I'm trying to get married, child. Wait. Are we building somewhere towards marriage? And again, it's based on what you. This is not no judgment. This is based on what you want in life. Right. For me, this is what I want in life. There's nothing to damn anybody for, you know, how they want to live their life. But for me, where I'm at right now was more considered on. This is what I want to do. I want to get married.
Yeah.
I want to have kids.
And celibacy and abstinence is not only connected to marriage or children.
Yeah, of course.
It's literally connected to a decision in getting better results in relationships.
Oh, that's a word. Yeah.
Somebody write that down, please.
Yeah, somebody write it down.
I can't remember all that stuff.
Yeah, it's all about making better decisions, because who gonna know you better than you? Who gonna love you better than you can? Who gonna love you?
It's the notes for
Who
me.
gonna love you? Who gonna love you better than you can?
Singing is not your ministry, huh?
Oh, if God, I promise y'all, let me tell y'all one thing. God gifted me a lot of talents, but he knew not to give me that singing talent. He knew. Because, child, I promise you, I would have been that person walking down the block singing like, who gonna love you?
They do that. People on the train do that.
Oh, no, that's me. I'm always singing.
No, but in the
off
public.
key, off beat.
You ever been in a store and the person in front of you was just like randomly breaks into a song?
Child.
Anyway.
Well, if you're around me, I'm gonna break out into clearly you see that I'm gonna break out into a song, because
there's a song for every moment. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to have. I feel like music is just like it's supposed to make you feel good, you know. Especially not with my voice, but good music is supposed to make you feel good.
I love it. Yeah.
But if you guys let us know if you guys have any more questions. Let us know. But I think so. I want that. But then there's also people. What's the song for this?
What's the song for this moment?
Who gonna Mary J. Blige?
No, that's yours. My song for this moment is Tweets. Oh my.
Oh my! I'm dead. Yeah. If I had my little song thing next to me, I would have played the song. Yes, child.
That song is exactly about what we're talking about.
Oop, how did it go though?
And in that song, Tweet discovered that she was her pleasure.
Oh yeah.
That's what that song is about. She discovered that she was her own pleasure. Oops. Oh my.
I do remember that.
Oh my. Yeah.
Yeah, my song is, I don't got a song really. It's just more about
Oh wow. I love that. Thank you for sharing your story. You will receive what you know you deserve. Amen.
Yes,
I love that.
honey. Thank you. That's really how I feel right now. Space like now, and I don't have to settle for anything less than what I deserve. Period. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I did enough of it. So if you approach me, you gotta approach me right, bro.
If my mom did enough of it, and my dad did enough of it, and my siblings do enough of it, I'm done.
Hello.
And my friends did enough of it.
I'm done. Who gonna love you better than you can? Mind you guys, this is really our conversation. This is our y'all tuning into our FaceTime. That's
me looking at her side eye. Puts the glasses
y'all
on.
listen to y'all tuning in to our FaceTime. Hello. But yes, you guys. Also, if you guys want to hear my complete story on my celibacy, I do have a video on live YouTube, and the link is in my bio. Is linked to on my Instagram. Yes, to the water. I know I had my water here too, child. It's the gallon for me.
A gallon a day. A gallon a day keeps the fuck boys away.
I'm dead. That's the truth. That is the truth, honey. But yeah, if you guys want to listen more about my story, it's on my YouTube. That was my first time sharing it publicly. At first I was scared. I was like, I don't want nobody to know this, and people gonna judge me. But I've gotten a lot of like good responses, and people were like, wow, like I didn't know, and I guess it is also more of a personal space. So a lot of people don't. I'm like a public private person, so I share what is necessary to be shared. And so with this, to hold on to something for 3 years and not say it publicly, people were like, what, 3 years, girl? What? And I also, one thing too, I had me a celibacy party. Okay, that's a celebration. Kirk was there. He surprised me. I made my friends come out and celebrate. I don't know if Brian's still on here, but Brian had jokes talk about only in America
We had
we
a
celebrate this.
Yeah. But that was a really, your celibacy party was really beautiful because we had we at that table, everyone was at different points. There were there were single couple, not whatever.
Married,
and everybody was sharing like how they navigate this, and it was cool. And as long as there's respect, that's it. Just be respectful. Just be respectful.
Be respectful for other people's space and people and how they feel about it. That's not. You got to be so grounded in it that it is what it is.
Yeah.
Period.
For sure.
Period.
I feel like we should end on that note.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, is there any last words you want to say for Kurt?
Just thank you all for watching and have fun, learn your body. We're not saying sex is the issue, but like many things, sex can be an issue.
Distractions.
And, there is celibacy, there is abstinence. Find what works for you. And just be great, be beautiful.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, House?
That's it.
All that damn singing, and you ain't got nothing to say at the end. God damn it! You know, made yourself tired. Don't do it now. Don't.
You can. Who's gonna love you?
All right. On that note, later, y'all. Thank you.
Later, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Peace. Are you gonna save it? Make sure you save it.
I'm gonna do my best.
Okay, I know how you are. You just
I'm gonna try.
Okay,
Later.
okay. Bye. Okay.